You can have the best advice in the whole world, but if you don't deliver it right, it will come as an offense. Right? If this guy was pretending, he would have given up. There is something called pretense. Like a lot of people will come to you and be like, "Oh, I love you," but they cannot wait for you for 2 months. They cannot wait for you for 2 months. To be honest, like they want it here and now.
Yeah.
They have no patience. They don't even know what is going on with your life, because before you come into my life, I probably have things going on. And before he came through, truly, I had a lot going on in my life, and he was able to wait. Not just waiting to get in, but even through that, helping me to come out of the thing that I was going through. You don't just focus on what you want, but you also identify the moments, find out what is happening in that moment, and help. Because I was going through so much pain in that moment.
Sure.
He was patient, waiting for his time to come, while helping me here, you know. So, hello everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Damaris Powell.
And your regular guy here, Mr. William S. Powell.
On my right, we have visitors with us today, guys. On my right, I have...
Hey everyone, my name is Sikulian.
And then my name is Samuel Cooper. And we're so glad to be on your show today.
Thank you for joining us today. Today is a very wonderful day.
Well, before you go into things, don't forget to let our viewers to know that this is Journey with the Powers. What do we do here?
We're journeying with love.
Journey with faith.
We're journeying with the Powells.
Alright.
Anyways, so today, 2 days ago, I was going through my journal from 2020, and I found out something that I wrote, and it was really fascinating. I couldn't just wait to share it with my husband. So basically, when my husband and I started dating, after our engagement, I had to reflect back on why I didn't want to be with this guy, right? I started judging whether I had to be with him or not. So I wrote some dislikes and some likes about him. We are going to be discussing those today. But before we get there, I want my husband to kind of share with you guys what today is in our love history.
Alright people, so today marks the very first time officially when my beautiful wife and I became, in American term, a thing. A thing. So 4 years ago today, 2018, October 14th was a Sunday. That was the day when she decided, after milking the cow a lot, she decided to get the cow in the milk.
It took me a while to take the full cow.
For some time there, I thought you guys talking about the cow in the soccer term.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get started. So on April 4th, 2020, I wrote this. Score what you like about William and all the dislikes, and from there determine if he is the right man for you. Grading should be based on the likes and the dislikes. A little background story about that. So this was after our engagement. We got engaged on the 14th of March 2020, right? And that was, I think, 2 days after my birthday. No, March 7th was our...
Oh yeah, that's true.
Something else. Anyway, so that was after our engagement, right? So a couple of weeks later, I started reflecting, is this really worth it? Am I really settling down with this guy? So I started reflecting, thinking through it, which is something that you should do, okay? Don't just run into things, even after the engagement. Even after the engagement, think twice, is this really what you want? So I went ahead and I put some points down as to why I like him and why I don't like him. And let's see what he got.
Alright. Please don't judge me. That's who I am.
Okay, what do I like? He is caring.
Okay.
He is supportive.
Alright.
He is loving. He is respectful. He is patient, slow to anger. He is giving. Well, he is generous, I guess that's what I was trying to say. He is a great cook.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys, yes.
Send and testify
I can
about
agree
that.
to that.
You're not gonna agree to brother?
He
I'm
loves
searching for-
kids. He loves kids a lot.
He's right.
He's a family man. He is God fearing. He is a peace seeking man. So,
I'm getting emotional.
with the likes, he got 11 points.
11.
11
What?
points. Okay.
Alright, let's see my dislike. Let's see whether. Anyways, I already know that the likes supersede the dislikes.
No. You don't know that.
Because
You don't
I'm here
know that.
today because of that.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Alright.
I am reading it for you so you will get to know it.
Okay.
Now, what do I dislike about him? The first point that I wrote down here is I don't like his dressing sometimes. I don't like his dressing
Did
sometimes.
you write sometimes or you just press it?
Let's see. Let me see.
The good thing about it is sometimes. That means sometimes it's good and
Elaborate on that
sometimes
one.
it's bad. I don't like his dressing
Alright,
sometimes.
people.
I would.
Listen, I got a lot of fans here that think I'm a fashion guy, so please don't distress my fans, okay?
This was
That's-
2 years ago.
Yeah, okay, 2 years
this
ago,
is 2
okay.
years ago.
Hey, that was not long
Yes.
ago. Hey.
A lot can
Things
happen.
can change.
Oh my
You
God.
are right.
Hey.
A lot can
Listen, she has
happen.
a very high standard when it comes to guys' looks, guys. Just be careful with that.
Well.
But she have the market already.
With the sometimes thing, I think that really defines it well. Like it's sometimes, it doesn't mean like it's not every time. Ladies, this is really something that can be changed. Okay, if you see a potential man, a potential husband, a potential partner, do not disregard him just because of his dressing style. Some of these things can be changed. So the second point, he doesn't listen to me when I'm suggesting things.
Ouch, that hurts.
Nobody they say women does that.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna go through this. After
Surprise.
this, I think because I'm the one that wrote them, it will be good to kind of clear
First, before people
it
start
first,
discussing.
right?
Yeah, of course.
So he doesn't listen to me when I'm suggesting things. Now, ladies, there is a way to tell people to do things, right? Without imposing or forcing them or acting as though you are commanding them. Okay? You suggest things, and before you suggest things, it doesn't mean the other person is going to agree to it. So I think I was always coming from that space where everything I suggest, he should agree to it. You know, everything I suggest, he should agree to it. And sometimes too, the way I suggest things could have been the problem, because I'm not suggesting, I'm telling you. To me, I'm suggesting that the way I sound, I'm telling you what to do, which shouldn't be so. I shouldn't be telling you what to do or how it should be like. It should come as a suggestion, like a real suggestion. Hey, babe, can we do this? You know? So
to add another light on that, it would be like more like it's not the what you were saying was bad, but the delivering of the message. That's where it comes out of. This is either a nagging it is a nagging delivery, or is it anger delivery, or is it a very good gesture of hey, a suggestion, or is it like a caring way, caring manner in which you suggest that message. So I think it's the delivery of the message that really make it negative or positive.
Yeah. So this point, I am sad to read these points, but I'm glad I did, because even looking at them, this is not who he is. But then, this is how I saw him. This is what I thought, who I thought he was. But truly, it was just, most of it were just my own selfish ways and my own ignorant ways of saying things.
Let me say something on that. So, okay, I'm glad my wife brought this up, and it's a very interesting conversation. Well, on my part, I think I always tell her this. It throws me off a lot the way messages are delivered to me. If it's not delivered in a certain way, it's like everything you say, that whole, no matter how important it is, like I didn't hear it at all. What I see is the way you deliver it. But I think too, I as well should also, even though we're all humans, right? We make mistakes and other things. one thing I think I should calm down on is trying to even understand the message, and just try to tell my wife, okay, I understand your message, but this the way it was delivered. Of course, I always tell you that, right?
Yeah.
But still, give a second chance in regards to understanding what the message is about, and I'm just ignoring the delivery of the message, because many times we miss things because of how we deliver it. As she said, very important. Delivery is very important to me, very important. But then, as much as that too, I think I have to find a line where I can, though this was delivered to me this way, we're going to talk about it later, but let me just grasp the concept of the message.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, let's take a little break and drink some water.
You want to pause it?
Okay.
Commercial break.
It's a commercial break.
Now we're back.
I hope you guys are enjoying and having fun with this. So, the third point, he judges me and doubts me.
Oh.
Now, I am going to explain that point again, right? If you are someone who has suffered from low self-worth, you know what I'm about to say, right? If you're someone who suffers or who has low self-esteem, right? Doesn't matter what people say, doesn't matter what people do, doesn't matter how they deliver things to you, right? It will always sound as though they are judging you. I always felt like when my husband corrects me, he was my boyfriend then, but when he corrects me, I will feel like he's judging me. When he points out things, I will feel like he's judging me. When I say I want to do this and that, he will seem like he's doubting me. But now I get it. Like, he wouldn't want to be that kind of person in my life. The reason why we are here is because he loves me and he wants to be with me, right? So I don't think anyone that loves will judge unjustly. Anyone that loves would doubt what a other partner can do.
No, Memo. Definitely not to hurt you.
Yeah.
The Bible says that love is kind, love is patient. Love never judges, never boasts. Love is sincere. See, the thing about this is that I really understand where my wife is coming from. At times I'm a technical guy. At times I want things to be straight this way. So maybe if she's saying that, maybe I'm correcting her a lot of times, or trying to, maybe this is how it should be. Maybe let's be careful with this. Perhaps maybe, and she's very tenacious, full of tenacity. When she sets her mind on something, like my wife, before she comes to you, she already thinks that that thing has been signed, approved, and and everything. Then I said, you know what? Just hold up a little bit. Just step back a little bit. Let's evaluate. I'm a slow guy, but then kind of like I'm very calculated. But the opposite of it is my wife. She is so tenacious that when she makes up her mind, like, go get her. She's a go get her. That's the word. So, and it's a very good blend, because I slow her down, try to evaluate her suggestions, and so many times when she wants to do something and I like, it's not the best thing right now to do, it might not be the best decision, then that when she would think that I'm doubting her that she can't do it. But it's not like I'm doubting her, but in my mind, based on my evaluation, it's not the best decision at the time, and I bring reasons why it's not. But my wife, reasons at times like, I must get it done. But I'm glad we have come a long way, because now she's like, we are, like you said something initially, compromise. We come in the middle.
Yeah.
I think that's what we are heading towards.
Yeah. Do you have something to say about that?
Yes.
Maybe you got something to say?
No.
Yeah, and the same thing that it goes is that there are ways of how we approach things, where you have the decision making where you have to go get it, right? And you also have the calculated stage saying, okay, let's calculate this, let's see this. But in that moment, you wasn't in a sense judging her, but you are in a sense molding her. I won't say judging or correcting.
Yes.
You are molding her in the way of a wife and a husband should be, rather than going back to her old ways. So that would be my own, conversational way of putting it.
That's really good. That's really good.
Molding.
Molding.
Just molding us. I wasn't correcting her.
Yeah, because being by myself, I get to run, I can skip, I can fly, I can do whatever.
Yes.
Right? The moment you hang onto someone, the moment you hold hands with someone, you have to walk. You have to be mindful of the other person's ability to walk as you walk.
Amen. That's
You
right.
know, because I am a very fast walker. You guys always slowing me down. Like
Yes.
you guys always calling me back.
Why you running?
Right.
When we are walking. Okay, say something.
So I think I had the same same thing where I would just do things like when we first met those time, I would just do things that it was supposed to be our both decision,
Mhm.
and I was like, but it's the right thing. It's like, but you were supposed to. It was like, okay. So I would ask him, were we not gonna do the same thing? He was like, yeah, but you should have come to me first.
Right.
So it was the same thing. It's just I would just do it like, okay, this is the right thing. I
Yeah.
felt like it. I'm doing it because
Yeah.
I was used to that in my own space.
Yeah.
So to conclude on this point, we all have to be conscious that we are with someone, that we have to always find that common ground where we all can meet and make things happen.
Right.
Because in a marriage or in a relationship, it's no longer I. There's no I in team, as other people would say. It's us now. It's not I.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So that was that. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Put in the comment section what you think. Okay. We have one more point to go. He doesn't take my advice. He thinks I'm controlling when I say a thing. I think we've already talked about this.
What
You
you said,
know,
my brother.
he doesn't take my advice. Like we said earlier, you can have the best advice in the whole world, but if you don't deliver it right, it will come as an offense. Right?
Yes.
If you have the best advice to give to someone, if I come to Sam and be like, hey Sam, I have this advice for you about, maybe let's use school, right? There's this school that I want you to go to. Then I come and be like, hey Sam, there's this school that I want you to go to and I want to go right now. I want to, you know, that is not an advice.
Hold the brake on
It
that.
is, yes, it is tense. It is not like, it's, yeah, it is not. So you can have the best
Even
advice,
apart
but
from
if
the
you
tone.
don't deliver it right,
Yes. Yes.
it will be pushed back. And that is what I struggled with. And of course, I'm still learning through, I'm still going through. But the good thing about
Process.
life is, right, you know, as to find a solution, you must know the problem.
Yeah.
Which I think now, I'm glad that I know the problem. So it is easy, it's going to be easy for me to find a solution.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
so in short, it's more of it's not what you said, it's how you said it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Good. Good points. I like those points, and like you said, it's a progress. We're all work in progress, right?
Yes,
Of course, I'm not saying I'm infallible. Of course, I'm human. I do have my faults. I'm not perfect, so I will take notes to your points and go back retrospect and see which one I still need to work on.
Such a humble man.
Now, let's see what. Okay, I think
What's
that's
It's time to discuss.
what is the score now.
Okay.
You guys remember
guys,
with
so,
the
yeah,
lights?
we're about to score me now.
He had 11 with
11
the
lights.
dislikes. He has 4
4, right?
4 points.
4 points.
So grading it on 15, he had 11 on 15. That's the reason why you see us here. If we are here sitting here, it means he won.
I went summa cum laude. I passed with honors, bro.
You did. Flying colors.
Thank you, I passed with honors.
You passed with honors.
Yes.
Presidential recognition.
Well, that's good. Good evaluation. My wife, guys, she was, oh my God, this lady, she was so evaluative. She was so evaluative. See, if I was not, I didn't know the amount of patience I had till I met my wife. But then also, if I was not patient enough, this lady would not be by my side right now. Because there are certain things she wanted. Hey, Jesus Christ. They say, I'm just a man, though. I'm not God, though.
I cannot practice it.
Oh my God. I think point number 5 really says it all. It said he is patient, right? That is something that a lot of people lack, even me. Hey, I don't. I struggle with that.
And I
But
can
this
say
guy,
something
in
patient,
order
yeah.
for us to even be here, like for us to even be here, it took him a lot of patience. There were, even my friends can testify to this. Like my friends at some point, they were like, "The man is what's wrong with you? This guy is the best guy." Like like when you're in the picture, like you said before, you said something when you're in the frame.
When you are in
You are in the frame, you cannot
not
see
unless you
unless you.
unless you are out.
When you're in the
And
frame,
love that.
when you are in the picture, when you're in the frame, you cannot see yourself.
Out.
But someone else can really see that. A lot of my friends saw who William truly is, but I didn't,
At the
And
time, I'm glad that you did finally. I was hoping, I was patient. That's why I was patiently waiting for you to realize that. You see, this is the thing, right? I knew, like I said, I'm a very slow decision maker. But then if I make a decision, that's why I'm almost always sure of what I want and what I need. Because I don't just make decisions, then come back and say, oh, I made a mistake. I'm not saying I'm infallible. I do make lots of mistakes.
Sure.
But when I make a decision, I always evaluate. And I definitely knew what I wanted in my wife. She had like what I not just wanted, needed in a wife. So I was willing to pay the price at a time, to be patient, to go through whatever I have to, and just until she realizes. Because I knew that I was what she needed, but she had not realized that yet. So I had to bring her to that point. I had to make sure she and I are on the same page before I can make her my wife.
Yes.
And the moment I realized that we both were on the same page, I made her my wife.
There you go. And I hear this quote one time. It says is that it was from someone I really admire as well. It says that it will come a time, right, where the moment the lecture is on, you got a professor, he's teaching, he's going through his everything. The moment when the professor don't end the class, but the student have the ability to either start the class or end the class, depending on the way they are engagement in the lesson, and the readiness for the lesson. So that was
Wow. Okay, Mr. White.
so that is the thing process. So when they start, now they say that when the student really arrive wanting to learn, that's when the professor start teaching. But when the students don't want to learn, the professor closes the book and say, okay, I'll wait till you're ready.
Yes.
And in the same context here, you are the professor in that moment, right? You're ready to teach, to get everything you can, but the student was not ready in that moment yet. So, what does the professor goes back to? Patience. Patience, it is the ability to delay as a gratification for a long time. So that's where you were when you were in that moment. Now, when the student were ready now, it was easy.
yeah, wow,
Okay.
wow. The good thing about it is like love never gives up.
No.
Love never gives up, and there was never. If this guy was pretending, he would have given up.
Yeah.
There is something called pretense. Like a lot of people will come to you and be like, "Oh, I love you," but they cannot wait for you for 2 months. They cannot wait for you for 2 months. To be honest, like they want it here and now.
Yeah.
They have no patience. They don't even know what is going on with your life, because before you come into my life, I probably have things going on. And before he came through, truly, I had a lot going on in my life, and he was able to wait, not just waiting to get in, but even through that, helping me to come out of the thing that I was going through. You don't just focus on what you want, but you also identify the moments, find out what is happening in that moment, and help. Because I was going through so much pain in that moment.
Sure.
He was patient, waiting for his time to come, while helping me here, So
Wow.
that's a really good one.
That's very good.
Thank you. So let me ask a question to our guests then. We know you guys are
Soon to
at
be
the early
married.
stage in your relationship. Amen to me. Say amen to that. Come on, let's say amen to that.
Can you guys clap for them, please?
Soon to be amen to that.
It's not easy to find a good
Partner, right?
Partner.
Yeah. So we know you guys are at the early stage of your relationship. What are some patience advice would you guys give to others out there, relationship advice when it comes to patience?
You want to start?
Our main thing will be is be patient, be kind. And what I mean by kindness is understand, first of all, come from the standpoint of understanding that person first. What they're going through, what's happening. Not to say whatever they are saying is right or wrong, but the main initiative in that they want to be heard first. They don't want to be criticized first.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the main, and trust me, I have hate myself not doing that.
So I love that
Repeat
statement.
that sound. Can you repeat that
Yes,
statement for us?
repeat that, please.
The first thing they want to hear, not to be they don't want to be criticized. They want to be heard first. That's the main thing.
Setting up the floor.
They want to be heard. Before I even move on there, there's a video that I really like. This video, they purposefully make this video just for men, because we men, we are fixers. We love to fix things. You give us something, we want to fix it now, we don't know there's more problem coming. So the first one we fix, it will be good. So there's a video, there's a nail that they put in the girl's hands of artificial nail. So the guy come and now wanting to talk, he said, oh, I have a bad day, this happening, this one happening. Then the guy look at the nail, not the word that is coming out of the mouth, nor the environment or the emotions. Nothing, but he's only looking at what? The nail. We guys tend to look at what? The problem. So that is it. So over time, the whole entire video, the guy finally figured and said, okay, let me just listen to it. And then the woman saying that there's something in my head, it's hurting. He said, yeah, that's the nail. If you take it out, it'll be fine. But overall, now, when he came to his senses, and I say this in really bullet points, when he came to his senses, he was able now to listen with the intent to help, with the intent to comfort, with the intent to really be there. And all she just wanted just for someone to just hear her. And that was it. Not about the dog, not about the cat, not about this thing that all happened. And then later on, it wasn't about the nail.
Wow.
So that is the main thing.
Wow.
So the first part about it, just when a woman comes to us, I sometimes don't do the right, but I try and over time get better at it. But the first time they come in, they are not just coming for fixing things. They are coming to just to be heard and validate our emotions.
That's a very strong point. I love it. What can we learn from that?
Yeah.
But my wife, many times like I'm fixed on, like exactly what you said, fixed on. Let's get it done with. But then I think there was a time I can't vividly remember, but she came to me about something I cannot explicitly explain that what she came to me about. But then the point of it was that she made a statement at the end of it was that you didn't even hear what I was saying. I didn't want this. I'm just coming to just to pour this out to you so you can just feel what I'm feeling. And I back up for a second. I'm like, uh-oh. Because she came to me with this complaint and I have to do this, I have to do that. I was like, baby, you're not in a position right now. Then she said, I'm not coming to you because I want us to solve it, because I think we're in a position. I'm coming to you because I just want to share a prescription towards the. That's it. We guys we're less sensitive. We're not really much sensitive when it comes to looking at people's emotions and what they are going through at the moment. I think that's something guys really need to step up on, including me.
And go ahead, you want to say something.
And I really like this point. A lot of times we are looking at people as though we are listening to them, but we are not listening. We are the little that we are getting, we are already finding the answer. Like you are looking for your own response. You are not really like comprehending what the person is saying. You are trying to respond, and I think I'm even in that place too, where sometimes you are talking to me, I'm not even listening to you, but I'm finding my own response.
Yes.
Yeah, it shouldn't be so. Let's try to listen. Listen first before we pour out our own concerns.
Yes. And just to the viewer out there is to help us guys. I think what this is just recommendations or some type of help for us. Anytime you are going into the meeting or you are going on a flight, what do they give you first? Your itinerary, right? They tell you what is going to be happening in the flight. This is what time you're going to be booking your flight. This is your seat. This is what's going on and blah, 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 right? Doesn't it?
I'm just getting with schedule. I'm just getting with schedule right now. I'm going with schedule. Yeah, I'm going to put it in my calendar.
So what I'm gonna like, it's just a suggestion. Try it out and see what you think. But in that moment when you would come in, it may not be happening all the time. But how about this? Wouldn't it be easier or better in a communicative way to tell your partner, hey, I just want you to listen. I'm going to fix it. I just want you to listen. Oh, okay. And we'll listen. Be real. Oh wow. And then in the intent to really hear you. Or you come in, hey, I just need you to I'm going through the decision. What do you think? Then that give us a cue that's saying, hey, okay, we need to make a decision in this situation here. Or hey, this I just want to vent. Let's go ahead and vent. So then it helps us guys understand, okay, this is the criteria we're working with. So now, because if you don't do any of those things, at least then it make it very, men brains are boxes, So if you box it for us, we function better. So I would just recommend those things. My girl does that very well from time to time. That would be amazing, I think. Just a thought.
I think for me to add on patient, I at first I thought I didn't have patience at all until I met this guy. I think what you mentioned, I think I already mentioned, is the part where when you come out to talk to someone, I think we had so many arguments that we end up arguing about not listening and just trying to fix it. And I was like, no, I'm not here for you to tell me how should I feel. I'm just telling you how I'm feeling, and then we can work on that one. And we had a lot of things, like I started talking, I was like, and then it's like, oh no, this is like, this is me telling you how I feel. And then I think that's where we work on the common ground. It's like when you come, you don't just, like you say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So you say like, okay, when this happened, this is how I felt. Not you, not how like everybody felt. This is how I felt when this happened. And then not trying to offend you, but I'm just explaining like, okay, this is how I felt when this happened. And then we work on that one.
Wow, that was really good. That was actually just acknowledge other people's feelings. Acknowledge my feelings. If I come to you, even if the thing was, this is not what you intended, right? And this is how I felt. Listen to my feelings, because I mean, listen to me. Listen to me. Understand that I'm feeling bad. Okay, it was to you, it was nothing, but I felt bad about it. Okay, just listen to it, So okay. So, all right, guys, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you all enjoy it as we did a few minutes. Do you have anything to say?
I think for me, what I can say, like what you wrote, I really look forward to that. I will take it as my own thing that I will do in the future, because what I've learned is that you had more point of the good things that he's doing than the things you don't like. At the same time, those things, when I look at it, it's like so many couples are going through worse things out there than just the way he dresses. So as a couple, you have to see, okay, is it the dressing thing, that you can come up to somewhere in the middle where you can try and work on it, or other than having to say, oh, I want the person that dress well and all those things, and then they're literally like a problem in the relationship. They might be emotional, physical, anyhow in abuse. you're not happy at all, but because he dressed well, all those things.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really good. Everything's.
And I think what you did in your journey, that's a complete amazing way of going into the past and evaluating how you are right now. So right there, that's just terrific. I'm glad you did that, because had you not done that, my brother would not know what his strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah.
Or what, I won't say weakness, but improvement.
Improvement.
Yes, there's no weakness at all.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good improvement, and that's a good thing.
One thing I know I definitely have is one thing I know definitely that I have is those points that, okay, what babe likes, what babe doesn't like. The listing of all of those points, because I was very careful not to intrude in your space or offend you a certain way. So I was like, okay, but it's hard. It's hard to follow, but then as you go, you learn and
Yeah. Any last thing?
Well, first of all, thank you. You were a good teacher. I'm glad I passed the test. I'm glad with flying colors, and it was a good point to retrospect on. And I just hope that most women out there, let me be more specific, will like she was saying, Secret was saying, well, see the importance, because most people, when it comes to relationship, most people are missing out because of some things that they can change with time. There are lots of great guys and great women that are out there, but then we cannot see beyond. So we only see what is before us. But everything has potential. Everything has potential.
Yeah.
So look for the potential. Don't look for too much of failures. Look for the potential. Of course, red flags, look for it too. Potential. And one most important thing, look for partners. Because even with potential, when there's no partner in the potential, it's not going to come to pass. So let me just stop right there. And you guys, thank you for watching.
Yes, I want to say some few words before I close this. I am really glad I found this. And guys, to be honest, I didn't know how important journaling was until I found this. Okay, this book is filled up, like there's no space in it, and I would encourage anyone out there to journal. Get up in the morning, however you're feeling, whatever is in your mind, write it down. Nothing is a mess or is a waste. Any point or any idea is important. You may not need it right now, but in the future you will need it. There are a lot of songs that I am currently writing, right? That started like almost 4 years ago. Then I had just lines or maybe just one verses, but today the Lord has given me other parts of it. So never disregard anything. You get up in the morning, you are feeling bad, write it down. You're feeling good, write it down. Someday you will reflect back on it and be like, wow, God, this is how far you've brought me. So journal.
Yeah.
We've come to the end of this video. Thank you all for joining us today. As you can see, it seems like this is becoming a thing, and you will definitely see us all together again. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit the red subscribe button, click the bell notification, and also leave a comment section. If you have anything that you want us to discuss, please leave in the comment section. And thank you all.
All right, y'all. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Once again, join with the whoop.
The Powells.